The Samajwadi Party is putting women voters firmly at the center of the 2027 poll pitch. In a major announcement, Akhilesh Yadav has promised to implement the Stree Samman Yojana with 40,000 rupees annual cash support for women. The SP is also promising 33% reservation for women in the police, laptops for girls who pass class 12th, a PG college and safe hostel in every tehsil, and 2 days leave for mothers at every workplace.
समाजवादी सरकार में समाजवादी पेंशन महिलाओं को शुरू की गई थी, जिसमें 500 रुपए सीधे उनके अकाउंट में भेजा जाता था। और इस बार मैनिफेस्टो में जो जा रहा है वो है 40,000 हर साल और बढ़ेगा भी आने वाले समय में। भविष्य में इंटरमीडिएट पास करने वाली बेटी को लैपटॉप देकर के उसको आगे बढ़ने का मौका समाजवादी सरकार में दिया जाएगा।
नारी शक्ति का विकास कहने से नहीं, उन्हें सच्चा प्रतिनिधित्व देने से होगा। पीडीए में आधी भादी के रूप में शामिल हर स्त्री का सम्मान और समृद्धि हमारा संकल्प है। सशक्तिकरण यदि सामाजिक रूप से समानता देकर स्त्री को सशक्त करना है तो सबलीकरण आर्थिक रूप से स्त्री को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने का प्रयास होता है।
Meanwhile, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has launched a scheme to provide free bus travel to elderly women in Uttar Pradesh.
जन्म से लेकर के उसकी शिक्षा तक, बेटी की शिक्षा से लेकर के उसके रोजगार तक, बेटी के रोजगार से लेकर के उसकी उद्यमिता तक और जीवन के हर पड़ाव पर सुरक्षा, नारी की सम्मान और नारी के स्वावलंबन का की गारंटी। यानी हमारी हर योजना, सरकार का हर निर्णय, सरकार का हर बजट इन्हीं उद्देश्यों की पूर्ति करने के लिए समर्पित है।
UP has more than 6 crore registered women voters, making up 45.46% of the total electorate. And the 2022 assembly election showed just how decisive this vote can be. According to Lok Niti post-poll survey, the BJP had 13 percentage point advantage over the SP alliance among women voters. Among men, the BJP's advantage was only 5 percentage points. The BJP's lead was particularly significant among young women. Among women aged 18 to 25, BJP's lead over SP was 15 percentage points. Among women aged 56 and above, the gap increased to 18 percentage points. So if the SP wants to seriously challenge the BJP in 2027, winning over women voters will be critical. And that brings us to another interesting finding from the latest opinion survey, which is Vote Vibe. Among voters aged 18 to 24, Akhilesh Yadav leads Yogi Adityanath as the preferred chief minister. 44.2% prefer Akhilesh compared to 38.2% for Yogi, and the alliance numbers reinforce that trend. Among 18 to 24-year-olds, the SP alliance leads the BJP alliance 45.5% to 36.4%. So what is driving this youth preference? The bigger concerns. For the voters aged 18 to 24, unemployment is the top concern at 30.1%. Among 25 to 34 years old, it remains the biggest concern at 26.9%, and this concern appears to be reflected in the satisfaction with the government. 50.1% of the 18 to 24-year-olds are dissatisfied with the state government. So among young voters, we see a combination of job concerns, dissatisfaction, greater support for Akhilesh and SP alliance. But the story changes dramatically when we look at the older voters. Among older voters, 60.1% are completely satisfied with the government and 64.6% favor Yogi Adityanath. Their priorities are also different. Older voters are more focused on inflation, law and order and farmers issue. Unemployment ranks lower among their concerns, and then comes the social group equation. Among upper caste Hindus, the BJP alliance leads at 67.3 with 71.2% preferring Yogi. Among Muslim voters, the SP alliance leads at 63% with 53% backing Akhilesh Yadav. The OBC contest is much closer, 44.5% for the BJP alliance against 40.5% for the SP alliance. And within the OBC category, Yadav OBC leans towards SP, while non-Yadav OBC leans towards BJP. Among SC and Dalit voters, the BJP alliance leads at 40%, followed by SP at 34.1% and BSP at 21%, roughly 20.1%. So what is the big picture? The BJP may still have the broader advantage, but the political battle is becoming layered and tighter. And the issue is, can Yogi retain the older voters, BJP's social coalition, while holding on to women and winning back a younger generation increasingly focused on job change? That is the moot or the crux of our conversation. On this issue, I am joined by Amitabh Tiwari, psephologist, political analyst, Sunita Aaron, senior journalist, Dr. Anil Verma, author, writer, academician and psephologist, and Ajay Bose, senior journalist and a very noted author. Let me start with Mr. Bose first. Mr. Bose, gender is also a very layered reality. It's a lived reality. So even in America, gender can be divided on race. Do you think that since the elections are now around the corner, this entire focus on women can get more oxygen and momentum, a sort of a layering over the Gen Z issue which was deciding things in the public narrative 30 days back or 40 days back, sir?
Well, I think that if you look at the woman voter, there are certain common points, obviously, with the male voter. And also the age factor is a very important thing, because I think young women and old women vote differently. But certainly this time, I'm expecting younger voters to play a more decisive role, and grassroots issues which women usually are more concerned about to really, dominate all elections from now on. And this, the Cockroach Janata Party's protests and its aftermath has certainly brought to the fore. So we are going to see from now on elections, whether in Uttar Pradesh or elsewhere. I think bread and butter issues will become very, very important.
Okay.
And these crumbs from the table, which, all political parties are very keen to give just before elections, I think people will really see this as really a sop. Certain things like reservation in the police is an excellent idea, I think, because I think women's safety is such a major issue that 33% of reservation among of women in the UP police is an excellent idea. But this 40,000 rupees or free travel or something, I think they are more like crumbs from the table. But certainly I think women will play a very important role, and young women particularly, who are now getting increasingly aspirational and ambitious.
Okay, I really don't want this conversation, and that is why I didn't start on that note, whether it is affirmative action or whether it is Revdi or Labharti politics. Sunita, what I really want to know is, every political party makes promise to women as a solid constituency, but women choose a political party. Like Madhya Pradesh or, for example, Maharashtra, political parties made promise to women, but they chose Ladki Behna. So there is something more than the promise. What is that more than the promise which makes them choose one party over and above the other party? Like both of them made very big promises, Akhilesh and Yogi, but suppose they choose Yogi over Akhilesh, then why? Or if they choose Akhilesh over Yogi, why? Promises are similar.
One thing is very clear, that now women is voting independent of the family's decision. So, and it is a very important vote to decide to tilt the balance. Now, why they decide a particular party? So earlier it was Temple, earlier it was Sanatan, earlier it was to some extent the divisive politics that was being promoted, that women, and even today, if you look at it, when you talk about senior women preferring Yogi and his saffron, it's because of Temple and their feelings, and plus the direct transfers that have been done in the past, and they are hoping that they will get it again. Now, what is advantage or disadvantage Akhilesh? Advantage is the battery of women, young women leaders that he has. All of a sudden, if you see that Dimple has been very active, Ikra Hassan, you have whole lot of them who were present at his press conference today, and not always Dimple is addressing a press conference along with Akhilesh Yadav. So he's trying to blunt this particular propaganda or whatever people perception that Samajwadi Party is unable to control the law and order situation when they come to power. So right now the advantage Akhilesh is the women force that he has, and I'm very sure they're going to play a very, very active role in the coming elections. It seems that's the message that I'm getting, which the BJP as of now doesn't have. They have now Smriti Irani will be going around, but she's not a fresh face like all these girls. So that is it. But definitely, it is going to be a very, very tight contest in which women will tilt the balance this way or that way.
Okay. Dr. Verma, she said that women vote for many things, but Sunita didn't mention law and order. Law and order. Do you think that law and order is not important in the scheme of things?
Karthikeya, one thing we have to understand that women has always been a very important factor. The only thing is that of late, the division on the basis of caste has been replaced by division on the basis of class. This is a very important shift in the voting behavior of the gender in not only in Uttar Pradesh but all over the country. That we have already been talking about the dominance and influence of caste in voting behavior. But of late, we can see that there is a transition from caste to class, and each and every political party is now focusing on the gender. That is one thing. So there is a tremendous mobilization of the gender, whether this way or that way, there is a mobilization, and women are getting more and more conscious. That is one. The second thing is that you put a very important question: why they choose one party over the other when both the parties are offering sops and lollipops? So to me, it appears that a bird in hand is better than two in bush. So most of the women are not only concerned about their safety, but they are also and we have to trust their rationality. They might seem ordinary, but they have a rational wisdom. And that wisdom is that most of the women are not forgetful of the performance or the regime of the previous governments, whether it be Mayawati's government is always credited with a very good law and order situation, though it's faulted for many other things. Akhilesh government or Samajwadi government, they have a very track record of, creating a optics in the minds of the people all over that it is a people who are, not very congenial to the safety of the woman. And there are so many records about that. Everybody knows about that. So I think when you said that why women will choose one party over the other, it is not only a gender mobilization and offering sops, but it also a consideration of the previous track records of the various political parties, including the BJP, of course, and there would be they would be weighing the advantages and disadvantages of a particular regime of a political party, why one party should be favored and not the other party. So this is my understanding.
Okay, Amitabh, is it also because of the fact, that women vote share is higher for Bharatiya Janata Party? And I was, the data which you shared, very important point it makes. Even for BSP, the women, vote in higher numbers. And for Samajwadi Party, it is in the lower number. For Indian National Congress, it's the equal, but it does make a difference. But the fact is, women vote for BJP in higher numbers for BJP and BSP. So it's really important for them to consolidate, and it is important for Akhilesh to go there where, he's really lagging behind.
Yeah, so even the Lokniti numbers you shared, 13% higher vote or support for women, for BJP amongst women. So that means it translates into a vote share of 6.5%. So, and amongst men, it is only 5%, which means that it translates into a vote share lead of 2.5%. So, bulk of the lead of around 8 to 9% in 2022 Vidhan Sabha election came from women. They also recorded a higher turnout than men. So what is happening actually in the northern states, the comparatively poorer states, because the per capita income is still just 1,26,000, which is just 10,000 rupees per month, is that due to migration, the women, even in poor families, suddenly have become the masters of the house. They are actually running the house, and they are controlling or have become an anchor of the voting preferences of other sections. That's number one. Number two, the turnout is higher again because men are living outside in Delhi, Mumbai, and some of them may not be coming back to vote for. So the turnout has also increased. Their role in the society has increased because the males are outside. Now, why do they choose one political party over the other? Again, I mean, a woman also has many identities. Of course, the primary identity is gender, but there is religion, caste, education status, socio-economic status, literacy, etc., etc. But what is happening because of the relatively poor condition of northern states like Uttar Pradesh is that they are voting more and more on the basis of their beneficiary status. So when we talk about a 40,000 or a 50,000, whatever that number is still 3 to 4,000 rupees per month. 3 to 4,000 rupees per month on a per capita income of 10,000 is 30-40% of what the per capita income is. So that's a huge amount, and that
Right.
also in a way is significantly impacting the voting behavior of the women. Of course, law and order is one part, wherein an improved law and order, which Yogi Adityanath has created an image of an improved law and order in the state, and the numbers also specify that. So that also benefited the BJP in 2017-22. But when both the parties are giving or announcing cash goals, as Sir mentioned, Verma Sir mentioned, see, cash received today is much more valuable than cash which will be received in the future, because future is always uncertain, risky. You don't know whether that will be received or not. One. Secondly, but there is an important distinction here. Existing schemes would not work. So even when a Mamata Banerjee increased the cash income support, she lost. Even when DMK transferred 5,000 rupees to women just 2 months before the elections, it did not work because it was part of an existing scheme. Whereas in Bihar, when 10,000 rupees was given, in Assam, when I think 8,000 rupees was given as one time help, those were newer schemes. So that's also an important distinction. Always the cash doles do not work. Cash doles are working when something new is being offered. An increase of dole of an existing dole is perhaps not really enticing voters, as we've seen even in Andhra, even in Telangana. There are a lot of cash was distributed to women, but there was no significant new scheme which came into the fore.